There's been a major policy shift from U.S. citizenship and immigration services, and it's making waves across the international student community. This new change is significantly altering the experience for thousands of international students who come to the U.S. for higher education every year. For years, students on F1 and similar visas enjoyed a flexible duration of status, DS, which allowed them to remain in the country as long as they maintained their enrollment. This flexibility meant students could focus on their studies without worrying about strict visa deadlines. Now that system is being replaced. The new rule introduces fixed end dates for student visas, sparking concern and confusion across university campuses nationwide. Instead of focusing solely on academics, students now face increased paperwork, more frequent check-ins, and tighter deadlines to maintain their legal status. The old DS system provided academic flexibility. Students could take an extra semester for a thesis or research project without fear of violating their visa terms. Under the new system, students must pay strict attention to their visa expiration dates and plan every academic move carefully. This policy doesn't just impact F1 students. J1 exchange visitors, M1 vocational students, and their families are also affected, making the change even more far-reaching. In this video, we'll break down what the DS system was, what's changed, and explore the reasons behind the government's decision to implement this new rule. By understanding the new rules and requirements, students can better prepare for what's ahead and avoid unexpected problems. We'll hear directly from students who are navigating these changes and offer practical advice to help them stay compliant and reduce stress. With the right information, careful planning, and support from their schools, international students can still achieve their academic goals and thrive in the U.S. despite these new challenges. For decades, duration of status, or DS, was the backbone of the international student experience in the United States. It was a unique system that shaped the way students from around the world lived and studied in America. When international students arrived, their I-94 records were marked with DS. This meant they could legally stay in the U.S. as long as they maintained full-time enrollment at their approved school without a set end date on their visa. DS also covered time spent in practical training programs like OPT or CPT, which let students gain real-world experience. After graduation, students even received a grace period to prepare for their next steps, such as finding a job or returning home. The DS system was built on trust and flexibility. Students could extend their studies, change majors, or even transfer schools without constantly worrying about their visa expiring or having to leave the country unexpectedly. If a student needed more time to finish their degree, universities simply updated the I-20 form. There was no need for complicated government paperwork or lengthy approval processes. This allowed students to focus on what really mattered, their academics, research, and campus life, instead of being distracted by immigration bureaucracy or paperwork. For example, if Priya decided to add a minor and needed an extra semester, her school could update her records quickly and easily. She didn't have to fill out new government forms or worry about her legal status. DS directly linked a student's legal presence in the U.S. to their academic progress, making the process straightforward and student-friendly. As long as students followed the rules of their visa, like staying enrolled full-time and making academic progress, their immigration status was secure and protected. The DS system minimized red tape and supported the true goals of international education: learning, personal growth, and cultural exchange between nations. Now, with the end of DS, international students face a major shift. The change brings new challenges and uncertainties for those hoping to study in the U.S. The new policy replaces DS with a fixed date admission period. Now, students are admitted for a set time, usually the length of their program, but no more than 4 years. When that date arrives, their legal status ends unless they've secured an extension from USCIS. For longer programs like many PhDs, students must apply for extensions, an involved process with fees, paperwork, and no guarantee of approval. For example, Carlos, a doctoral student, must file for an extension in his 4th year, adding stress and uncertainty. Some students, especially from certain countries, get only 2-year admission periods, requiring even more frequent extensions. The responsibility for maintaining status now falls more on students, who must be vigilant about deadlines and paperwork. This change demands careful planning from day one. The government says this change is about national security and immigration integrity. Without fixed end dates, it was hard to track students who stopped attending classes or violated visa terms. Assigning a specific end date makes it easier to spot and address status violations. Officials also hope to reduce visa overstays and fraud, arguing that DS made it too easy to fall out of status undetected. The new rule aligns student visas with other non-immigrant categories, which have set expiration dates. Critics, however, say the DS system worked well for decades and that most students follow the rules. They argue the new policy creates unnecessary bureaucracy and may discourage talented students from coming to the U.S. The debate continues, but the rule is now in effect. The new rule brings uncertainty and anxiety to international students' lives. Now, students must constantly track their visa expiration and worry about extension delays or denials. The process is costly. Application and biometrics fees add up, especially for those needing multiple extensions. Financial strain is real for students already on tight budgets. The rule may discourage students from switching majors or taking on challenging projects, fearing extra semesters and more paperwork. Delays in extensions can also disrupt post-graduation work opportunities like OPT. Even daily life is affected. Driver's licenses may expire with visa status, causing practical headaches. Under DS, these issues were rare. Now they're common concerns. The new system adds stress to academic and personal life. Students must adapt quickly to stay on track. The new rule has sparked widespread concern and confusion among international students across the country. Many are left wondering how their futures will be affected and what steps they need to take next. Ananya, a chemistry PhD student, worries her research might take longer than 4 years and fears USCIS won't understand the need for more time. She's dedicated years to her work, but now faces the possibility of having to leave before her experiments are complete. Li Wei, studying architecture, faces a 5-year program but only gets a 4-year visa. He's anxious about delays and possible interruptions. His family, who moved with him, shares his uncertainty, as their lives are tied to his student status. Maria, a J1 scholar from Brazil, must file extensions for herself and her dependents, adding stress and uncertainty for her husband and child. Every new form and deadline brings fresh anxiety about their future in the U.S. Students fear that delays could disrupt not just studies, but family life and children's schooling. The ripple effects reach far beyond the classroom, impacting daily routines and long-term plans. These stories show the human cost of the policy change. It's not just paperwork, but real lives in limbo. Friendships, research, and even mental health are at stake as students try to adapt. Many feel the U.S. is becoming less welcoming, with more suspicion and bureaucracy. The sense of being valued as a student is fading, replaced by constant worry about compliance. The dream of an American education now comes with new risks and anxieties. What was once a clear path to opportunity is now filled with obstacles and uncertainty. Students worry about being forced to leave before finishing their degrees. The fear of having to abandon years of hard work and personal investment is ever present. The sense of stability that once defined the international student experience is gone. Nights are spent worrying about what the next policy change might bring. For many, the focus has shifted from learning to navigating red tape. Instead of concentrating on their studies, students are forced to become experts in immigration law and paperwork. The policy's impact is deeply personal and far-reaching. It touches every aspect of students' lives, from academics to family to their sense of belonging. Students are calling for more understanding and support. They hope universities and policymakers will listen to their stories and help restore a sense of security and welcome. Despite the challenges, students can take steps to manage the new rules. First, check your I-94 record as soon as you arrive and note your visa expiration date. Set reminders and plan ahead. Don't wait until the last minute to act. Stay in close contact with your university's designated school official, DSO. They're your best resource for guidance. Meet with your DSO regularly to review your academic and immigration timeline. If you'll need more time to graduate, discuss extension options early. Keep organized records of your documents, academic progress, and any awards or recommendations. This documentation will be crucial for extension applications. Plan your finances to cover application and biometrics fees. Being proactive, organized, and informed will reduce stress and help you stay compliant. Take control of the process so you can focus on your education. Universities are stepping up to support international students through these changes. International student offices are running workshops, webinars, and info sessions to explain the new rules. Many schools are increasing advising resources and training DSOs to help with complex extension paperwork. Universities are also advocating for students, pushing for fairer policies and streamlined processes. They're updating websites, sending reminders, and creating checklists to keep students informed. Schools recognize the value international students bring to campus life and research. Despite the new hurdles, universities are committed to helping students succeed. The support system is strong. Students aren't facing this alone. The end of DS is a big change, but it's manageable with the right approach. Stay informed, keep your documents organized, and work closely with your university's international office. The U.S. still offers world-class education and opportunities. Remember, you're not alone. Millions have navigated changes before you. Lean on your support network and share information with others. Focus on what you can control. Plan ahead, follow the rules, and ask for help when needed. Your main goal is to learn and grow. Don't lose sight of that. Stay positive, stay prepared, and you can thrive in your U.S. academic journey.